Well, hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. We're going to begin right away. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and we have a topic today about Harry, being a hypocrite, forgetting his polo kit. He's going for a one-day polo match in Aspen, and he forgets his polo kit. What kind of sportsman is that? That doesn't make sense. I'm happy to see all the places in the world that you're watching from. Sao Paulo, Brazil, Mississippi, Ontario, Oklahoma, Japan. Oh, right. Ontario, New Jersey, Tennessee, Utah, San Diego, Australia, Lamb Island in Australia. That's great. It's great. Scotland. You know what? I want to visit Scotland. Northern Ireland. All Royal Rogue fans, remember to hit the like button. If this is your first time here, this is just pure laid-back royal gossip. Nothing much serious. We're gonna spend around between 45 minutes and 1 hour talking about the royals and non-royals too. Lately, I've been talking about the non-royals more, and just of course in a laid-back, sometimes satire way. So that being said, because I'm getting attacked on Twitter lately, more attacked on Twitter lately. It's gonna be more vicious attacks, but I don't know. Maybe my skin is harder, it's thicker to withstand those attacks, and that's what I. Oh my God! I'm seeing your comments. I want to let's start from the very beginning. This schedule, the agenda of today starts here. Not very eco-friendly. Prince Harry sits in idling 9 million private jet for 30 minutes while he waits for staff to arrive in gas-guzzling Range Rover to deliver his forgotten polo kit. He was going for Aspen for one day to participate in a polo match alongside Nacho, his longtime friend, and you're going to a polo match and you forget your polo kit, all your polo stuff. Kingston, Chile, Southern California. This is great. More from Scotland, Frisco, Texas, UK present. Harry arrives at 11 a.m. Okay, his electric SUV, the Duke of Sussex, arrived at the Santa Barbara airport in the back seat of his electric Audi SUV at 11 a.m. and boarded the Bombardier Challenger 600. Harry, who regularly preaches his views about the climate crisis hitting the world, arrived at the airport close to his 14 million Montecito home in an electric Audi SUV. Range Rover arrives at 11:35. Staff arrived 35 minutes later at 11:35 to the airport to drop off the missing kit. They drove a Range Rover to bring his mallets and gear, with his bodyguards then dashing to the plane in a golf cart to ensure they arrived safely with the royal. Totally normal day-to-day life of normal people, Staff has to dash to drop off the royal's forgotten kit bag, leaving the private jet idling on the runway for 30 minutes. Whatever. This, I can't tell you that this couldn't happen. Maybe he had two bags, or he thought that the bag was in the trunk or something like that. Anyone can forget something, but if you're specifically going for something that you enjoy, I don't know. For example, I thoroughly enjoy musical instruments, and if I'm going to a gig, I'm invited to play guitar on a gig on Aspen, and I'm going by private jet, I make sure to bring all my instruments with myself, or at least check what I'm bringing with myself, unless I have a roadie in charge of everything. But it's something that is truly personal, and this is something that's very personal to Harry, because it's his actual stuff, his polo stuff, the stuff that he's gonna use to play polo at the competition. Well, the Duke of Sussex had got on the 9 million Bombardier Challenger 600 picture to head to a one-day polo event in Aspen with his long-standing polo star friend Nacho Figueras. They are due to battle it out as part of the On the Centerville team against the Royal Salute and the U.S. Polo Association teams in a round-robin tournament. Yes, staff forgot. Heads are gonna roll. I hope he doesn't go as hard on the staff. But do you think? What do you think? Do you think Harry bullies his staff? Do you think Harry is rough with the staff? What do you think? What do you think about that? I thought it was only Meghan who had that fame. Climate experts, and this is the hypocritical part, climate experts believe that the Sussex journey from the UK to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee to California resulted in 10 times more carbon being emitted than if they had taken a commercial flight. Not that eco-friendly, right? Their flight from Farnborough to Santa Barbara would have emitted nearly 60 tons of carbon dioxide. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. I know I've seen that word for years. I don't know how to pronounce that. Dioxide. Is it dioxide? Is that how it's pronounced? Into the atmosphere. You know that I'm still practicing my English. Let me check that real quick. I know that you have the you can wait. This is laid back. This is not like the battle language guy. There's all this pressure to be perfect at all times. But I want to do things right. Look for that right. Dioxide. But what's the stress? Dioxide. It's quite strange. Dioxide into the atmosphere. Oh, right. This is a problem with Harry. This is a problem with Harry and Meghan, and it's not. I think it's not like you cannot use private jets, because I understand that if you have the money to pay for it, and if you need to go from point A to point B in a private jet, because it's faster and safer, because it actually is faster and safer, then one should be able to do that. But the main problem is with the hypocrisy of being an avatar for the climate change and doing all this public speaking and all these claims that you are against climate change and all that stuff, when you certainly are not. So if you just shut your mouth about the topic, then maybe people will not be aware of that. Maybe try to champion something that is not climate change or nothing for the world, for the health of the world, because we understand that some people, it's understandable, need to use private charters or private jets. It's understandable, and they actually have the right to do so. Okay, if they can afford that. This is a free world, right? But it's that speaking against pollution, against contaminations, against everything that is triggering climate change, and doing it at the same time. I don't know. Talk about the manatees, saving the manatees, and use your private jet, whatever you like. You see, no conflict whatsoever. It's easy. It's as easy as that. His burrito, I don't know. Is there any charities that talk about burritos? I love burritos, by the way. Burritos, especially if they are filled with carnitas. The carnitas burritos, or meat and fried beans. My favorite. Not gonna talk about food because I'm gonna get hungry. When I get hungry, I get cranky. Despite the couple repeatedly preaching about the severity of global warming, their return trip to England and Harris Young to play polo means that they have exceeded their yearly carbon budget by more than 3,400%. 3,400%. In an attempt to stop global warming, the Paris Agreement lays out that each person's carbon budget should be no more than 2.1 tons per year. I have my reservations with this estimates, and because there's so many people that it's like I have a philosophy about energy. I think we should be able to use as much energy as we need. Okay, if you need to use the energy, if you need to use to travel from point A to point B, well, you absolutely just have to do it. If it's needed, well, go ahead. What most people is not aware of is that the most efficient way of producing energy, which is quite clean and yes, quite safe, even if you could think otherwise, is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is safe as it gets from decades, since decades. It's safe, it's clean, it's everything. I think there's not enough the money incentive to the financial incentive to go for nuclear. That's the problem. You know that there's always in the pharmaceutical industry, in the food industry, in the telecommunications industry, in the energy industry, is always interest. It's always financial interest. I'm beginning to sound like Russell Brand. I'm beginning to sound like Russell Brand, but it's like that. You have all these interests that it's more the financial gain than anything else, and they reunite in all these agreements, and they talk about all this blah blah blah, this yada yada. Greta Thunberg begins to yell at everyone, and in the end, it's about those interests, and we go back to square one. That's reality. I'm not gonna have hard numbers here. This is still my laid back channel. I'm not going to begin to be political here, but I think this is something that we should be very aware. And no matter what you see in the media, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Whether if it's about the actual dangers of climate change, or if there are people denying climate change, you have to take both fields with a grain of salt and make your due diligence and see what do you feel about that? What can you do about it? In my case, that's my philosophy. We should be able to use the energy we need. I am not that keen on those programs of being you need to there comes a scarcity time. I hate the scarcity in any way. Financial energy scarcity, mindset scarcity. I despise all that. I think we should have abundance in every way, and if it comes to energy, it should be have an abundance of energy, and we should be responsible about it at the same time. I think that's fair. But well, we have to fight for our rights as everything. Nuclear energy, that should be the future, but it's so slow to implement, and well, not gonna be bothering much about that. But you take a good look at nuclear energy and realize it. Harry and Meghan's private jet trips this year alone, including their round trip to the UK, equals 72 tons of carbon dioxide, more than 36 times the advised limit. That's when I say, for example, Harry's going to this polo match. What is halting him? He's going alone. Why Harry can't fly, I don't know, first class from Santa Barbara to Aspen? What is the problem with that? Put just a cap, some sunglasses, grab your polo kit, and travel by first class. What is the problem with that? You will be saving. What is the problem if people take pictures of you? You're not with your family, right? You feel safe in the U.S. There's nothing wrong with that, I think. What is the problem with it? In fact, that would support all that you say about climate change. Hey, that's Prince Harry traveling with us here in the airplane. Together, that would make sense. That's what I would advise him to do if I was in charge of his PR. You're traveling alone. What do you fear? What do you want people to take pictures of Meghan or the kids? Doesn't matter. Doesn't apply in this moment. Doesn't make sense. And people are going to see you boarding a private jet and insisting on making these stupid decisions, because they are stupid decisions. I don't know what to tell you. So many ways, so easy ways that Harry and Meghan too could fix what they have been doing so far, could fix their attitude to this point, could do things with using their platform. As someone was saying, I was making this commentary about Meghan's podcast, that Spotify doesn't really care about Meghan's podcast or her guests or her content. Spotify doesn't care about it at all. Spotify is just interested in that brand awareness, in that attention, no matter where it comes from. No matter if it's criticizing Meghan, no matter if it's bashing Meghan, no matter if it's making fun of the articles, it is still brand awareness for Spotify. They are still winning because of it. That Meghan's podcast doesn't bring subscribers doesn't matter, but it makes headlines and it has Spotify every time it's mentioned. Every time Meghan's podcast is mentioned, even if it's making fun of it, even if it's bashing it, you have Spotify over and over again. That is brand awareness. I think Spotify's executives settle down for, hey, we don't care about what you do as long as you do it. Please do anything at all, and that will serve us. I'm going to do another episode about how many publicity and how much marketing has had Meghan's podcast in that regard. But well, we move on. Earlier this year, Harry and Meghan launched a new eco-travel project with see holiday makers rated on their green credentials. I would like to see Harry rated with so many useless private jet trips. And I say useless because, yes, he could have perfectly done that on first class. No problem whatsoever. But he's exquisite. He's always fearing this about his security and whatever. People don't care about them. Literally do not care about them. During last November's COP26 climate change conference in Glasgow, Harry and Meghan vowed that their Archwell Foundation would go net zero by 2030. Well, it's maybe the net zero is about net zero content generated by 2030, and so far they're doing well at it. In a statement on their website, they say they have actively made choices to offset and balance their carbon footprint, and added they would be looking at what they eat and how often they eat it. All right, and I guess they will be extra careful if they eat beans, because of the methane they could be releasing to the air, to the atmosphere. So that would make sense. Let's be aware of that. White beans, black beans, red beans, all that methane generating food that, will fight against that pledge that they have made to not contaminate even more the earth's air, because it's only well, they are already contaminated with their content, with whatever content they are putting out. But well, we have this. I really don't. I'm not aware of this account, but I'm going to highlight this tweet. Even so, just Prince Harry at the Centennial Polo Cup. The prince was all smiles as he arrived and greeted Nacho Figueras and the small ponies. Yes, this is something that I wanted to show you. I felt at one point, I felt like I was watching Harry in real time, and he said, "Hey, look, it's the body language guy over there. Go get him now!" And no, he was just pointing at the ponies. No, it's not about me. But you know that Harry looks more relaxed. He's not wearing a gray suit. God, what a miracle! And he looks confident, his shoulders broad, he has a very good posture, has a smile, he feels he has a decent frame, he's not fiddling, he's not grabbing his jacket button, he's not grabbing his ring finger, in anything. Who is this man? Is this a double or something? I know it's not a double because he made this gesture of touching his neck shortly, very briefly at one point. So it's Harry, it's not a double, but it looks so confident, so happy, so everything of being here. That's how he should be living the life on American soil, because America, he wants to be an American prince, right? American prince. How many towels does Harry use on this private jet? I don't know. I never figured out that kind of question. But it's a nice question either way. At this moment, 500 Royal Rogues are listening to the Royal Rogue, should I say podcast? I don't know if this could be a podcast. I'm thinking, maybe this could be a podcast if I practice it a bit more. And these 1 hour long episodes, I put them on Spotify. Why? It could be a good option. Why not? I'm gonna be very embarrassed because I still stutter. I still have this doubts when I talk. I'm trying to still master my English and my pronunciation. I have to make these stops to look for how a word is pronounced, because on podcast, voice is everything. And oh my God, there's so many amazing voices out there that are deep and full and warm, and mine is just a bit less. My voice is just a bit less annoying than Ben Shapiro. Just a bit less annoying than Ben Shapiro. Just a tad less than annoying than him. But I want to practice it. I want to project my voice from my chest. Have this Elizabeth Holmes tone. Trying to practice my Elizabeth Holmes home, like I work in Theranos. I'm the CEO of Theranos, and we're doing I'm gonna put my fingers like this, like a real CEO, and talk about the marketing goals of this trimester, and have my Elizabeth Holmes voice handy, and yes, do it again and again, because this rambling, it's helping me develop that ability. I've told you many times my first lives were terrible. I was sweating like a pig, and all nervous and over aware of my voice tone and everything, and my accent. And now my main worry is that so many of you have told me from the start that you fell in love, metaphorically, with my Latino accent, like Ricky Ricardo meets Cole Lightman from Lie to Me. This Ricky Ricardo accent, and I'm afraid of losing that Latino accent if I become too mindful of my English, and I have a little bit of trouble thinking or being aware if my Latino accent is still there. So that's one of my questions now. If you think my Latino accent is still there, if it's still there, Yeah, that would be great. Uh, yeah, but that's an old expression, sweating like a pig. Oh, many of you are saying that my accent is right. Grace Abo Shapiro. Yeah, that's it. This is he. I like the way that guy thinks, how his thinking flow, his flow of mind. That is nice. No matter what the ideas of a person, I always get amazed at how certain people have this ability to have this train of thought and be able to express that in real time. I want to do that. I want to do it. Yes. Oh, thank you. I'm very flattered by the comments about my voice. I try my best to practice my English pronunciation, because it's also a bit annoying for myself when I try to make sense of some accents around the world in English of people that are from English speaking countries, but the accent is so thick they have trouble understanding. So even if I like my Latino accent and you love my Latino accent, I want to make myself as clear as possible. Maybe my speed delivery should be more stable. Sometimes I tend to rush things. I would like to talk like uber fast, something that maybe it's not needed, or maybe it would do more harm than good. And at the same time, it's like I want every person that barely understand English or has trouble understanding English to understand what I say. So that's why I try to be as mindful as careful as I can with my pronunciation and my how I modulate my words, or the words that I say. So that's something the feedback that I've done, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all the patience that you have standing hours of my ramblings, because this is something that encourages me to keep on trying and keep on doing this, because sometimes I just say, oh my God, I mess up this pronunciation, or I mess up this, or I didn't have enough energy, or I didn't want to do this live and either did it anyway. And as you can see, even if I'm on the road, I'm still on the road. This is not my studio. I would love to do this lives every day. I was going to do a recorded video. But it's like these lives, being live, having a camera turned on and speaking live to you forces me to not make any mistakes on the fly. It's something that forces me to think about, to organize my ideas, to go with the flow and just go with it. And if I mess it up, then try to calm down. Something that this is like training for me. It's a daily training, trying to get better at this. And I know that this doesn't have anything to do with the Royals or anything, but at the same time, I can't help but in any way try to be an example of something. It's not that I want to be a teacher or a mentor or anything. I don't want to be called like that, because I think that, well, maybe I've learned quite a few things along the way, but I'm still learning, and I'm just a student just like you. But it's just the example of throwing myself to the lions, as I used to say in my podcasts and my lives, and show that sometimes you just have to make a fool of yourself in front of people, in front of no matter how many people. Think about it. English is not my first language. It's never been my first language, and I've never actually lived in an English-speaking country. I have, of course, I know that I'm a language nerd. I'm a language nerd. I love languages. That's something that I have. That's part of my talents, and I had the responsibility to polish those talents. And you have the responsibility, the duty, the obligation to polish, to make your talents shine. And the only way to do it is to take the training wheels off. This is terrifying. This will always be terrifying. You want to do it perfect every time. You want to do it like to a T every time, by the book every time, but it's not possible. This rambling would have been extremely hard for me like 6 months ago, and I'm a bit more fluent right now, much better modulation, much better, the speech is much better. It's just an example. If I could do it, if I put hours into this, if I make a fool of myself, if I embarrass myself, and you can do it too. It's a cathartic experience you feel when you do this kind of things. Well, we have. Of course, I'm a troll. In many ways, I'm an internet troll, and many people know it, and many people are aware of that. That's why I made sure to change my bio to human behavior explorer. I'm no expert at anything. I don't consider myself an expert at anything. I'm learning so many things. I'm a human behavior explorer. I'm a royal satirist. Satire is my ability. I'm not a royal correspondent. I'm not a royal commentator. I'm a royal satirist. So you have to take what I say with a grain of salt. I try to enlighten you in the way how do I make my research and what are the conclusions that I reach out to as a behavioral analyst. But most important is having a good time. And finally, chronically curious. Chronically curious, that's what I want to be, what I am. This is my value. Curiosity is one of my values, my personal values, and I want to explode that as much as I can. So that's why I bring you this. And so that's the way I suggested. I made this kind of suggestions. Like this. This is my internet troll side. Harry was so excited to see Nacho again that he forgot to pack his polo kit. It's like going on fishing with your best buddy and not bringing your fishing kit. Disclaimer, this tweet has nothing to do with Brokeback Mountain. Did you see that movie? I want to know if you saw that movie because that's important to understand the joke. Brokeback Mountain was a movie from Ang Lee. I don't remember which Oscars did it get, but it was a great movie, great interpretation with Jake Gyllenhaal and I forgot the name of Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal, and was this, well, you know the screenplay, you know how the story goes, and that I wanted to spice things up, saying things just to see what kind of haters pop up. That's something that I usually do, and if you like strong experiences, if you like the big leagues in social media, you write a provocative tweet or update or anything, wait 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever you like. And when you come back to the tweet, you'll see that there are many haters attached to that tweet, replying everything that they can come up with when you just suggested something. This tweet has nothing to do with Brokeback Mountain. But if you have seen my lives from the Body Language Guy, you know what it means when someone denies something, right? Yeah, that is a wink, a very badly disguised wink. So this tweet has nothing to do with Brokeback Mountain. Then I have all these haters stuck to this in the replies and just block them. I just block them that way. All right. Then we have this. The Duke of Sussex has addressed his use of a private jet for travel with his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, and baby Archie. Prince Harry said 90% of the time he flies commercial, but he occasionally travels on a private jet to keep his family safe. These are the times. Having polishing my English, trying to work out my English is one part of my struggle. The other part of my struggle is, when am I allowed to drop the F-bomb or swear words or anything that is not family friendly? And this, 90% of the time he flies commercial, it deserves a swear word. It deserves to fill the swear jar to the rim, to the top. It deserves an F-bomb in all its glory. Because, Harry, what the F? How can he be so cynical if he doesn't fly anywhere, if it's not in a private jet? How can he say it? How can he claim 90%? He has no records for that. He has no way of proving that. He has no way of saying this in any way. And be taken serious. There's no way of taking him seriously. I have wondered if they are, I don't know, doing this for some kind of plan, but I can't wrap my head around any plan that involves being either the most hated couple in the world, or the most stupid couple in the world, or a nice mix between the two. I don't understand. That could be a master plan. A master plan. There's a story from a Venezuelan writer that is called the broken tooth. The broken tooth talks about a child that broke his tooth, and he just began to, with his tongue, to touch the broken tooth, and just being silent and touching his broken tooth, and everybody thought that he was in deep thinking. And just because everybody thought he was in deep thinking, he became the first in class because, he didn't do the exam. He might be just thinking. He must be just thinking the answer. He must be very intelligent, but he just thinking about. And it's of course like a parody of how we jump to the conclusions about one person when in fact we think that they are clever or bring value or anything, when they actually have never done such things. So I think this is part of this idiocracy. It's like being this idiocracy is. It doesn't matter what value do you bring, as long as you have awareness, have you command attentions. Okay, this is it's the only way that can make any sense. Because how can you provoke? And people blame me on the internet for being a troll. This is being a troll. This 90% here is being a troll. Harry is the biggest troll that the monarchy has ever seen. All right, arrogance and ego rule the couple. I'm sorry, I'm trying to follow up your comments. I'm getting better at that. Thinking about, generating my ideas, expressing them verbally, and at the same time reading your comments to have this feedback. It is possible. It is possible. Richard Eden, I love Richard. I think he's one of the good guys. So far, he's one of the good guys on Twitter about being a royal commentator. Very balanced. He is no Harry and Meghan fan, but he knows how to have a balanced commentary. Prince Harry's memoirs may be delayed until next year as he considers whether to include some truth bombs about the royal family, claims the New York Post. About that, I think it is connected about all this that, well, somehow he's head over heels about he wants to play polo. I know that he wants to play polo. Maybe he forgot his kid for any reason. Maybe someone was in charge of that polo kid, and that someone is gonna get his ass fired because they misplaced the polo kit and they had to wait 30 minutes, and it became a scandal for that. And well, it's undeniable that Harry enjoys the company of Nacho. That's nothing wrong about that. If you have a good friend, if you enjoy your friend's company, if you took the bait of my trolling on Twitter, I'm sorry for you, but you are blocked. But this is like he enjoys those times when Meghan is not around. We need, there's no way around this. Thanks, Rita, for your super chat, 20 Canadian dollars. Thanks for that. Yeah, Richard is the best. I love his classy snarks. Oh yeah, Palace I don't watch Palace Confidential, but I see. I have this royalists list on Twitter, but I don't have many official or established royal commentators. Only Angela Levin and Richard Eden, and maybe a couple more. But it's only to them that I pay actual attention. I think they're worth it. But well, Harry is delaying his memoirs. I think they're thinking twice before going against whatever Tom Bauer put on Revenge. And we still haven't gotten to the deep end of that book. There's so many that we're realizing, we're finding that is new for us thanks to that book. That's, as I said, that will be a slow simmer of the Harkles over time. Maybe years from now, we're gonna have that as a master map to understand the Harkles from the very beginning. It's like this Jorge Luis Borges' story about this massive library that every book has every possible combination of words and letters, and there is the one book that is the map for every other book. That is the map for every other book. That is the map for every other book in the library. So there's one master book. So far, Revenge could be that master book to have the map set out to understand all what the Harkles come from. Those interactions. Save, sadly, those critical years, those critical months from May to July, when we still don't know how Meghan actually met Harry, who set up the meeting, what happened in those 2 months that changed the course of their lives, and they just collided at that moment. Nobody has claimed what happened at that moment, not even Tom Bauer, and it still remains a secret. And I'm sure that once unveiled, that will be a real shock. That will be the real bomb. Oh well, this is what I think about Harry doubting, not releasing his memoirs this fall. Lack of balls to pull the trigger. Meghan will do it herself. I have no other words for that. Lack of balls to admit that his book stands no chance of any sales as compared to Michelle Obama's book release in November, and so they had to push out the date. These random headlines are just smokescreens and PR strategies to increase interest and curiosity in the Duel book. And that there's this YouTuber, this psychologist, Dr. Grande, and on YouTube. I strongly suggest, if you don't know Dr. Grande, just look for him on YouTube search. Like that, Dr. Grande. His insights are solid. He publishes, uploads videos every day, 15 minutes, and you learn a lot about human nature with him. And he recently did an episode about Meghan Markle and her podcast. And the title in the thumbnail was Magic, Duchess of Dullness. Great. I'm going to, maybe tomorrow, I'm going to play that video here. I'm going to react to that video, and we're going to watch that. What do you think about it? Would you like to do a watching of Dr. Grande's video and comment that here on the Royal Rogue? That would be nice. I remember that he did also this insights on Harry and his United Nations speech, and that was savage. I like his style. I like Dr. Grande's delivery because he's He's soft spoken, but his snarks and his jokes are, well, sharp as usual, sharp as ever, very, very on point. Oh, we have all this. If you want to send any specific question you want me answer, remember that there's the super chats and the super stickers too. Well, the super chats is where you can write any question to elaborate on that. I don't know if there are more slides here. Well, Harry's memoir will be delayed. About time. This was never a good idea, especially not in the Platinum Jubilee year and with the rift in the royal family. Indefinite postponement is the best idea. Will Harry's tell-all book be delayed until next year? They said, I have heard that Harry has some truth bombs in his book that he's debating on whether to include or not. So this delay is no surprise if he needs more time to work on the book. If he needs more time to work. Oh my God, that is great. Where do I listen to Doctor's videos? Here in YouTube. You go on YouTube, the search and say Dr. Grande, just like Ariana Grande. It's like that. Dr. Grande, you can't miss it. You will find him immediately. And he's always making all sorts of commentary about current events, criminal investigations, everything, celebrities, everything. This is really nice. I think there's a couple more slides here. Royal family in the dark over Prince Harry's tell-all memoir. Well, I don't think they're going to bring them an advanced copy. That's for sure. The Duke of Sussex relatives will only get to see his heartfelt book at the same time as the public, with no prior sight of its contents. Oh my God, I'm shaking in my boots. Oh, how defiant is Harry at this moment. Is it possible for the book to not be released? That is a possibility, to be indefinitely postponed. Is it Harry's decision now, or is it Penguin Random House pressuring for harder content? Maybe they are pressuring for harder content, and his lawyers are scrambling to see what can we put out that is not gonna be, it cannot be confirmed in any way, and it's not gonna land you in a defamation lawsuit. And we don't know what is the extent. What is the extent that the royal family can take this if Harry begins to, well, improvise all this stuff? The royal family is braced to read the Duke of Sussex memoir at the same time as the public, the Telegraph understands. Neither the Prince of Wales nor the Duke of Cambridge has seen any part of the manuscript or even been told when the book will be published. The lawyers and advisors have also been kept in the dark. Not a surprise. I think this was this is the last one. The highly anticipated tome, and well, I have to say that I'm talking about Harry's memoir since almost 1 year ago, is expected to be published this autumn and will undoubtedly ruffle feathers at the very least. Sources close to the Prince of Wales indicated that he would have hoped members of his team would have been sent the book in advance of publication, but not gonna happen. Not even Harry himself is gonna be. And this is important question, relevant question. Who is buying the book? I'm buying the book. Yeah, Jesus is buying the book. I'm buying the book. Just as a relic, as a collectible. I would like a signed copy, dedicated to the body language guy. Just fuck off, dude. I can imagine Harry just scrambling his signature. Yeah, get lost, get it screwed. They confided, however, that it was unlikely to be on his reading list. Yeah, that is. Not unexpected. Yeah. Oh my God. So much to digest about this, about Harry's shenanigans, about this. Tell me, what do you like? Do you like? Yes, I'm buying that, so you don't have to. I will make sure, Marjorie, this time to not have this hot-headed reaction as I had with Tom Bauer's book, that I just jumped to conclusions and just went all in, that I was disappointed at like 12 hours, less than 12 hours of having the book on my hands, and that was wrong, because I needed to give it at least a couple days to maybe a couple reads, and more than just a skimming, to understand the real value of the book. So that's something that I had to learn with many ways in social media, that our first reaction is not always the best one. In fact, it's usually not the best one. First reaction, not only on social media, but in real life too. We should think twice, unless it's an emergency that demands our immediate action. First reactions, first emotional reactions are usually not a good idea. We should think twice before we express an opinion, especially if it's about expressing an opinion. And I was way more hot-headed back in the day, back in 2019, in regards to Twitter, and I get in a lot of trouble, and I had to apologize a lot. And I broke many friendships because I had these reactions. I just tweeting from the heart, spontaneously. People are gonna love me or not, and it doesn't work that way, because I hurt a lot of good friends that way. Was completely unnecessary. So please learn from my experience, and when it comes to express your opinion, especially publicly on social media, it pays to write the tweet, write the email, write the post, and let it sit for 1 hour or 2 hours or maybe one whole day, and then think that is this really worth that tweeting? Is this meme worth tweeting? That will save you a lot of trouble. Sometimes we want to have that fear someone is gonna beat me to my gracious creativity of making up this tweet or this meme, or they're going to look smarter than me, or I'm not gonna look as smart because I took so long to tweet this. But it's much better. We can live a more peaceful life and more kind life if we behave this way, especially being kind to ourselves. Tom Bauer's book is a hint of his knowledge. He sometimes writes two on a subject. For example, Richard Branson, trust me, he has another waiting in the wings. Yeah, I'm grateful. You're grateful for me doing this, and I'm grateful for you, as I said, to be here and listening to my rambling. And I'm trying my best. I'm doing my best and not getting too technical. I can be technical on the history side. I can be technical on the British royal family side, because I just can't. I just can't. I don't have the knowledge, and I got that said. I get that at least twice a day in the comments. Jesus doesn't have what it takes to be a royal commentator, and that's okay for me, because I don't really want to be a royal commentator per se. I just realized that the way I talk about the royals is engaging for you, my audience, my royal rogues, and my body language buddies. You love that, you like that from me, and it is my duty to bring it to you. But that's it. It's like a mutual a contract between you and me. I try to bring you how my own insights from my field of knowledge, and try to put all the wit I can, a bit snarky wit or jokes or whatever, to make it fun. And in the end, not only be entertaining, but leave you with something. For example, leave you today with the inspiration that no matter if you suck at something and you're afraid to make a fool of yourself, that is something that we have to do, because it's our life, and we have to remember that our life had a beginning and it's going to have an end. You know, it's a bit creepy, but it's important to realize every day that our life will have an end. So we have to live it right now. And our talents that were given by, you can say, by the universe, by God, by divine energy, by natural selections, by genetics. I don't care what do you believe in, but you have talents and you know it. And it should be your responsibility to polish them, to develop them, to work on them, and to make a beautiful product of yourself, to make a beautiful product. No, it's not the word. A project, to make a beautiful project of yourself, of your mind, of your body, and your spirit. And it will never be easy. It takes words, it takes numbers, it takes iterations, it takes repetitions, but it will be, I promise you that it will be worth it. My royal rogues, you don't know, you are not aware how much I love you, and I send you all my love to you, all my good vibes to you, and I hope you can cherish this experience, because I do it every evening. I'm getting the hang of hanging out with you every evening with this silly gossip of the British royals, because that's why we like to hang out, just in a laid-back manner, and have all these ramblings. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and until we meet in another video or another live, another short, or whatever format we can stumble upon, there's my Twitter, my Instagram, and if you want to pitch me any ideas, I'm all open to your insights. The two most important words: much love and bliss. Take care, because I love you all. Bye-bye.